From the depths of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up the stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.
All right.
What's up?
Hello and good evening. And of course, welcome to the Cigar Loons podcast, live from England and the United States of America. And of course, our guest tonight is Chantel from Bella Dama Cigars, and she is the founder and CEO of the company. So welcome to the show, Chantel.
Thanks so much. I got to tell you, that was the most badass introduction I have ever seen on a podcast. I'm not kidding you. Like, huge kudos to whoever created that. Congratulations. Bravo.
Yes,
That was me.
Look, everybody's hands going up. I did it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I appreciate you.
No,
Thank you for coming.
we're very honored to we're very honored to have you on, of course, Chantel.
Thank you.
Thank you, of course, for your generosity towards the Cigar Loons as well, to sending the cigars out. We really appreciate that from you. Thank you very much. It means a hell of a lot.
My pleasure.
And I know, of course, Grumpy, you've been enjoying, of course, Bella Dama Cigars, and you have, Kurt. But what we're going to do first, of course, before we get into the show, Kurt, what cigar have you pulled out tonight that you're going to be smoking after the Bella Dama Lima Row?
I pulled out the King. Thought I'd give it a go. The number one, so I figured I'd try it out.
Yeah, I think I'm back. I'm not sure. I disappeared there for a minute.
Yeah,
Nothing
you're back.
unusual.
What are you smoking, Grumpy?
What am I smoking?
Yeah.
Boy, I prepared this one for you. I'm ready.
Wait.
No, in honor in honor of the founder and the CEO of Bella Dama Cigars, the Queen of Bella Dama. So I'm smoking the Queen to
Love
honor
it.
the guest.
Yeah, thank you so much. So
Nice.
cool. You
Did I
guys.
spread that thick enough?
Like, you know what? Not like butter, like peanut butter.
There you go.
Oh, grumpy.
I was having internet.
Hey.
Yeah, my internet was going goofy. I got lost there for a minute.
You must miss much, man. Don't worry.
Yeah. But no, of course, welcome to everyone that's watching us over on Instagram
Yes.
and, of course, Rumble. And he's going to be joining us tonight watching. And from a couple of the comments that I can see at the moment, of course, Tuesday night is going to be rocking. And then another one, the Flush and Ace, a top picks of them all. And that's from DEC Woolley, it is. So
Oh,
thank
yes, Chris. Hi,
you for
Chris.
tuning in.
Yes, Chris Coulter. Yay.
Well, of course, and I've seen a lot popping up, Chantel, over Bella Dama for the last couple of years of smoking cigars, and seeing there's a lot of people are really enjoying your cigar line and the reviews that you're getting from different people. And of course, one of my personal friends and also a friend of the Cigar Loons, Joe, of course, from Evil Empire, when he said about your cigars as well, and really enjoyed them from Joe. So this is the reason why I want to get you on. And also, of course, to learn about the company, of how you started, learn about yourself, of course, how you got to cigars, and then about the whole cigar line, basically. So, of course, my first question for you is, how did you get into cigars, Chantal? And can you remember the very first cigar that you lit up and smoked?
Yes to both. Yes, I can tell you, and yes, I do remember. So, and I don't want to be redundant because I've explained this story many times, but obviously your audience may not have seen it. My father was an avid cigar smoker my whole life, and he went on to become a champion professional poker player in Las Vegas. He is now deceased. He's been deceased for over 30 years. And so that's where this huge interest I had in cigars. I grew up with it, right? So I just always thought it was just fabulous, just like poker and gambling. I thought was fabulous. I grew up with it, and so back in the 90s, I was living in Chicago, and smoking was really becoming a popular thing. Smoking cigars. That's when Cigar Aficionado magazine came out. It was like 94, I think. I mean, in Chicago, you could even smoke in restaurants. So I really went full on smoking then. And then, of course, life goes forward, et cetera, et cetera. And then I had an opportunity to work for a very big name brand company and do an event with them and represent them back about a year before COVID. And I thought, I really want to do something, ignited by passion again. I really want to do something with this. But I needed to stay what I was doing best, which was e-commerce retail in the fashion sector. And my daughter was getting ready her last year of high school. So I just needed to continue making money what I was doing. So I shelved it. And then COVID took out my e-commerce retail business. And I said, okay, what are we going to do now? No one's hiring. I haven't worked for anyone in a very long time. So I said, let's take this off the shelf and let's do something. And originally I was going to do a hosting company for cigars and then have a product down the line. Instead, I ended up having a product first because there were no events or anything, right? So that's how it started. And my first cigar I smoked was when I was about, I think, 16. And my mom and stepfather, I thought, of course, nobody could smell it, right? I didn't know. With cigarettes, you can smell. You can't smell. I had no clue. Well, they smelled it. And they sat me down at the kitchen bar and said, if we catch you again, we're going to make you smoke the whole thing and inhale it. Well, needless to say, I was all set. So it was a while thereafter, for sure.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's
played
like
hard.
What's that?
They're playing hardball.
Yeah.
It'll make you inhale too.
Yeah, 100%. They were smart because that was enough, right? Enough to curtail me
Yep.
from doing it, you know? It's just like, I'm sure you guys all remember the first time you got sick off of booze when you were younger, whether it was wine, Boone's Farm, moonshine,
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
even know, right? Whatever that
Either
coffee
or.
was, right? That taught
Either
you a
or.
lesson in that way.
Yeah, either or.
There, see? I think we need to
More
go
of an
around the
and
room.
situation, I think, for me.
Yeah, it probably was. And a lot of times, yeah, and Boone's Farm.
Right? What was that one? What was it? Mad Dog 2020.
Oh my God.
Never had it, but I've
Oh.
seen it.
Yep, Moby David.
Mad Dog 2020.
You just sent a chill down my spine. Yeah.
Not a good one either.
No,
Mm-mm.
that's a bad memory right there.
I'm sure it was. Mine was slow gin fizz. Never
Oh, man.
drink gin again in my entire life. Never.
Man.
What a mess that was.
No kidding.
We all know the name for gin, of course, Mother's Ruin, and I think the worst episode I've ever had was Southern Comfort, and yeah,
Cough syrup.
it did not agree with me
a high
one
test.
thing. It didn't. It made me bad. It did. Well,
It's all that
it's crazy.
sugar.
We all have. Yeah, we all have
Yeah.
them memories, of course, of
Mm.
either smoking cigars or, of course, when we started, of course, drinking. And that's the thing. It's, something, it's interesting to hear you say about your story, Chantel. And, of course, starting where you started to then come to COVID and that weird, horrible world that we lived in. And people didn't know what was going to be happening, where the job security was and different things. So you say about hosting, but then of course you didn't host. You went straight in and of course got your cigar line. So when you were coming up, of course, with your cigar line, was it that you already had the names in your head to do with the poker, or was it just you already had to think of what cigar you would like to be coming out with, and then came the name? How did all that come around?
So I did everything ass backwards. And this one. So because I didn't even know I knew that I wanted this to be an ode to my father, right? And my father, he thought of himself like the poker king. And so the first stick I created was the OG King, not the one you're smoking now, because I do have a new factory, and obviously I'm sure we'll get into that. But so I said, I want to name this the King, without even a thought in my brain that I was going to center this around the world of poker, right? So then all of a sudden I go,
Yep.
like Eureka moment. There it is. That's it. That's what I've got to do. But I didn't create the ace, the king, the queen, the jack, in succession the way it should be. I created the king, the flush, and the royal. Don't ask. I don't know. Yeah. So that's how the line started. I started with 3. So that's how it started. So, and the name of the company was not supposed to be Bella Dama Cigars because it was going to be a hosting business. It was supposed to be Cigar Aficionados with an A and an S on the end. It was going to be women. They were going to be hosting events. I was going to train them and cream of the crop, educated, all that. And then I realized that I had a trademark infringement with Cigar Aficionado magazine, ironically. And so I had to flip the script and come up with something real quick.
Yeah. It's crazy when you talk to people and we go on about infringements and different things in cigars, and it's like, whoa, we're going into a big minefield here. Where do we go?
Yeah, 100%.
You know something? Even having that name, it would have been an interesting name for your hosting business to be, of course, that.
What would it be?
On the Bella Dama name, it would have been, of course, your Cigar Aficionados. If you had done that, it would have been a good name. But to go with the Bella Dama, I think Bella Dama, especially the band, with the lips and the cigar, it sticks out. And it does stick out because when you flick through Instagram, or even Facebook, and you see people posting the cigar, you see them red ruby lips straight away in that cigar, and you know it's Bella Dama. You
Yeah.
know it's your brand, and this is where
Thank
it sticks out. And we've spoken to a lot of people on about branding and stuff, and I think, especially if you haven't got a good-looking band, your company kind of goes to the wayside, and people move on and get different cigars. But your band sticks out. And when I was talking to Kate and Grumpy this week, we were sitting in the Discord, and of course, Kate was showing me the band, and the band really sticks out. Even looking on your website, you can see, of course, the names like the Ace, the Queen, and different ones. They really stick, and it's a great thing. And of course, I'm going to stop my questions for a little bit because Matthew, of course, has got to get off tonight early because of his daughter. So what I'm going to do, Chantal, I'm going to pass it over to Matthew. And Matthew, what are your questions for Chantal tonight, bro?
Thank you, brother. So, first off, it's great setting this all up with you, and thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Thank you.
So, my biggest thing in all of this journey has always been, what am I going to pair with this next cigar? Because I got very much into whiskey during the COVID thing. And now I have 100+ bottles sitting around.
Woo!
So it became a whole thing. And tonight I'm not pairing it with one of yours, unfortunately, but that's
Didn't make it.
USPS.
I know.
But so I've decided to go with some Irish whiskey because St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
And I find Irish whiskey to be really mellow, and it's one of those things that kind of complements a cigar rather than contrasts. What do you go to? What's your signature pairing or whatever, whether it be a booze or coffee or soda or whatever?
So that's it's such. Be honest with you, straight up, that's a hard question to ask someone who has so many at their disposal, right? So
Yeah.
it really has to be genuinely the mood that I'm in. Like some days I've had like a really rough day and I need the meatiest thing I can get because nothing else is going to cut it, right? So
100%.
I'll go for one of my fuller bodies. I'm a medium to full, but mostly a full body smoker anyway.
Mhm.
But I will say, so it's interesting that you bring up the Irish cream because to me, most of the time you think, like have a coffee, right? And you'd have a coffee and a lot of people would go with a mellower smoke, like a Connecticut or something. For me, it's like the opposite because you're getting so much flavor over there, right? That to me, I mean, I'm sorry, so much flavor over there that I want to go with something bolder. Like you're getting that sweet from the Irish cream. So for me, if I was having that Irish cream, I would go with my wild card with that Irish cream.
Okay.
So because it's just again that sweet, I want that punch right in there. I'm not customarily a Connecticut smoker. However, I've created the two Connecticut's that I have, which is the Dealer Select Nub and then the Flush, the premium line Flush. I created them the second time around when I had my hands much more, deeper into everything with the factory with a kicker, right? So it doesn't fall flat. It's got that zing to it. A lot of Connecticut's to me fall flat. That's just my personal opinion.
Agreed.
They're kind of like just the same way through the whole jam. Mine, they got some surprises in there. So
Understood.
Yeah, again, it really depends on my mood. I've learned to really appreciate bourbons and whiskeys, which was very foreign to me for a long time. But obviously it's synonymous. It pairs well, right? So yeah. Now I think if I was going with like a Blanton's, something that's strong, and you were doing that neat, I'd go with one of my Connecticut's or the Queen even. But yeah.
Good to know. Awesome.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jack.
yeah. I have lots of choices here, so I understand what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question I'm going to go with is we have a semi-weekly poker night that we do together. So this ties in really well with
What?
your brand and everything. So what is your go-to if you're gonna sit around and smoke for a few hours and just chat with your friends and have a good time?
Uh, so again, it's so hard, right? I'm as honest as they come. So it's
I
really
like it.
hard again when you have so many choices. A lot of it depends on my mood. However, if I'm going to be around a poker game, take the king because that king's on your side. All right. We have a Bella Dama player, Brian Singer.
Mhm.
Every time that man plays poker and smokes the king, he wins. He stacks those chips, baby. So he does. So,
I love it.
so yeah, to sit around though, it depends. Like right now, I'm smoking a Royal. I have not smoked a Royal in a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm amongst royalty, so I'm going to
Oh,
smoke the Cigar Loons. So genuinely, and I go, okay, what do I? And I wanted something bold, so I picked the Royale. I'm sorry, I'm not answering you like really specific,
no.
but I'm just being honest with my answer.
No, I knew
Well,
it was a pretty vague question to begin with. So, um,
I don't think it was vague at all. It was direct to the point. I'm the one being
well,
vague.
I have a hard time answering that question myself, so I get it.
It's hard
So,
when you've got humidors sitting in front of you where you can
yeah,
just go pick whatever you want. So you really then say, what am I in the mood for of my own brand? Not,
right,
obviously like a plethora of all the choices you all have with other brands, right? But
sure.
I have to tell you, my original, so when I got into this business, this is a shout out, I guess, for Davidoff, was the Diamond Crown Robusto #5.
Wow,
Was my fave back in Chicago. I'll never forget that stick.
that's a heavy. That's a good cigar. Uh,
It is a good cigar. It
I
is.
did. I did. I think I've only had it once because it's also kind of a pricey cigar.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
had
Um,
one in forever.
I'm on a budget nowadays,
Aren't we
um,
all?
yeah. So I guess my next question, and I might steal one from Gaz here. So you brought up your factory,
Yes.
and we were looking and trying to find information on where your cigars are made, and we couldn't find anything. So I figured let's just ask.
Okay. So I reached a crossroad at like 4 years in this business, and I knew that right before four, but let's say four. I knew that in order to continue, right, I built the brand, the name. In order to continue, I needed to elevate. I had really, really great sticks before. I know I did, or I wouldn't have stayed in, right, and kept going.
Right.
But I knew I needed more. I knew I needed excellence. I knew that I needed more of a hand in it, right, and I knew that I wanted to expand the line. So I worked with about God, at least four, maybe five different factories. I smoked so many sticks, I didn't think I'd ever want to smoke a stick again. No offense to the cigar world. I mean, it just didn't stop because you have to, right? You need to know. So,
Yeah.
and I wanted to keep my premium line as close as possible because this is what my company was based on are these profiles, right, of these first six cigars.
Sure.
So getting someone to try and recreate that but elevate it is what I was looking for. So I came across my current factory. It's Tabacalera Aragon. They're in Esteli, Nicaragua. I sent them a bunch of different samples, of my cigars.
Yeah.
These guys,
Yep.
they smoked them. They decomposed them, broke them down, and then they sent me a bunch of samples back. And out of the ones that they sent me, I think they sent me 9 or 8. I can't remember. I'd be like, oh my god, this is my king. Oh my god, this is my ace. It was just as I smoked them, the progression. And then there was one, like, no, this is nothing. I don't care for it, right?
Sure.
I did, and in
Yep.
the end, I didn't even have to get down to, um, oh, this has to be like my Jack, for instance, because that's what's left. No, it's exactly how it worked out.
That's awesome.
But the only problem we have with them, and they are the best. This factory is exceptional. When I did the King, when I chose the King, it was in a different shape, right? At the time when they send the samples, and you guys know, shape sizes can change the profile.
Oh yeah.
But the rest of them all came back perfection. The King, I was not happy with. And can you imagine, this is my first stick that I created. So we had to go back to the drawing board and get that figured out. But here we are. So Tabacalera Aragon, Esteli, Nicaragua, huge shout out. They are thebomb.com.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Thank you for that answer. I did not expect that specific of an answer. I love it. So given that, I will toss it down to Grumpy here, and we'll let him ask his question.
Grumpy is the farthest thing for Grumpy. Okay, like, where did you get that? Eeyore. Like,
No, that the grumpy part that started out about 20 years ago now with my first grandchild. He never. That's as far as he got. That's all he learned. And by the time he got to talking good, of course he's spectrum and things of that nature. But that's, that was all he got out was grumpy. It started out as gumpy, but he finally got the R in there.
Lucky you.
Yeah, and then my granddaughters were the same way. So that's all they've ever known. That's all they've ever known me by. That's how that came about.
That is so cute. Well, you know what, Grumpy? I know your doppelganger. My cousin, when we're done all this, I'm gonna send you pictures of him. And I'm gonna send you a video. You're like twins.
Oh no.
It is actually so endearing to me. So endearing to me.
We do not need more than one of him.
Well,
one's more than enough.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I'll put in an extra prayer.
You sound just like a...
May his life be easy and blessed.
It's not easy.
Yeah, but as before, and I noticed what you did there with that royalty thing. You learned how to spread it on too. See, I like that. That was good. That was an excellent. You did that fine right there. That was good. But
there's
now we've now. Now I want to say just honestly, now you have an excellent website, but as far as trying to find out information, man, that's just like, you trying to find a 4-leaf clover in a 180-acre hayfield.
Much like my cousin again.
But
you know what?
Now I've got
to. Great. No. Go ahead, please. That's real. No, you just said something to me, actually, that I'm going to end up switching up within the next 2 days, because that is very true. Very true.
Oh, well, I just thought it was because I was old and didn't know what I was doing, but
you know what? Because you're right. Because I don't even have. So when I did the relaunch with this new factory,
right,
I should have put something right at that front page where we're made, whatever. So you know what, sir? See, I told you I was amongst royalty. I'm not kidding you. That was the best thing I've heard in forever for constructive criticism to say to me. It's great.
But yeah, I mean, it was totally constructive. Nothing bad meant about it. But no, but that leads to my controversy tonight, my conspiracy.
Oh boy!
Because your website. No, it's cool. I promise. I'm the loose cannon. See, that's why they're all getting nervous. They don't know what I'm going to say. See, but now I'm going to ask you because I don't know anybody else to ask, but the person that's the founder and the CEO in this cigar right here, this Queen.
Yes.
Okay, San Andreas and Connecticut Shade. That's cool. Yep. But now your website says binder and filler Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to digging and searching, and after about 2 hours on YouTube, I came across these two guys on a podcast from Texas or something, and they were reviewing this and the King. One had the other, and they put this thing up there about the blend, and it said that this was Cuban Seed Dominican for binder, and then it says it was a Dominican San Victor Olor for the filler. So, what say you, the CEO of the company?
What say you? I just love you. What say you? So that was my old queen. So,
Okay.
and we just, you know what? So when I first did this, my first line, right? I had every little dinky, little tiny little aspect in the recipe, right? For seriously, for the binder, every little thing, freelo,
Right.
secco, all three, whatever. Kept it easy. Nicaraguan. That's what it is. Nick and Nick. It's a Nick stick, but the wrapper, this is what the wrapper is. Because
Right.
seriously, it went, like you said, it went on to this whole dissertation. No, we're all set. Just smoke it. You like it.
I love it.
Yeah. But it is, and I do. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I am. I really am.
Look at that ash.
Where have we heard that before?
What? I'm enjoying it. Or look at
No.
that.
Yeah,
No.
that answer sounds very familiar.
Recently, we had someone
Yep.
say, "Just smoke it and enjoy it."
That's it.
No,
You smoke it and enjoy it.
It was so long, all of the ingredients. I couldn't even pronounce some of it, okay? And it was mine. Okay, so I'm like, you know what? And honestly, I have it down to what's in there. And it took time because there is a language barrier here.
Right.
But I had it down and I go, I just can't. We're going to leave it. And I understand that is not industry standard, but I'm not industry standard. Okay, so
Right.
just, the wrapper, the binder fillers for Nicaragua, and try it. And I give you the strength, the profile, you try
Right.
it. You tell me what notes are you catching, right? That's what I.
Well, I will say, and it may be the shade in there that's maybe toning things down, but even, I mean, the San Andreas part, it's a lighter shade than what you would think for a San Andreas wrapper, and the kind of chocolatey thing with it is, it's not as dark or bold of a chocolate. It's more of a lighter, creamier kind of chocolate flavor with it, and it's got some nice earthiness to it. A little bit of leather kind of sitting on the back of the tongue, but it's nothing to really get freaked out about. And it's very, to me, it's kind of a medium to mild profile. It's not.
Yes.
It don't really have that kick you thing to it. It's a very mild cigar. I'm liking it. So
Thank
kudos.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you know what? I thank you so much. I wanted to keep, so I don't have a lot of mild because I just automatically, like I told you guys, I'm medium to full or full, right? So, so I lead away, which is not a good thing, right? Because you need to have something for everyone's palate. But that queen that queen can be for anyone's, palate to enjoy. And
Yeah, really.
It's just like you said, you were catching some leather. I can't wait till you go into the second, third. I want to hear your thought process on that. But it's like the ace. So you guys, unfortunately, I feel so bad. I'm that I couldn't send them out of the country. So one of you is not obviously getting them. But when you get it, like my ace, all right. That's a San Andreas, and you'll see it's. I'm sure you've noticed if you've looked, Grumpy, that.
Right.
It's a darker shade, right?
Right.
Yep.
It is. You look at it and you're thinking, this is going to be really full-bodied stick because it's such a dark San Andreas wrapper. That one is again for this mild, the medium, and the full smoker. So don't give that ace away to anybody.
Don't give your ace away. No.
That one you fight for.
Okay.
Sounds good.
But that and of course you kind of negated the second part of where I was going, because I mean I've heard of the Olor as far as the filler, but that San Victor was something that hadn't really rang in my ears before. I was going to ask about that, but since that's not that's the old Queen, I guess there's no need to know.
Right? We don't want to talk about the old school anymore.
No,
Today's time.
time to keep it moving forward. But no, and now I will say though, this blend here, it is a smoke producer now. It's a smoke factory.
Thank you.
But it's very nice though. It's very smooth. And I do appreciate you taking your time out to come and hang out with us. You know, I do appreciate that. So
it is my pleasure. You guys are so fun. Thank you so much.
Oh, it can get much worse. Trust me.
You know what I want to do? I want to herf with you guys off camera. Is what I want to do. I want to hang out with you guys off camera.
That can be arranged.
Thank you, and I would
sure can.
Yeah, that can be arranged. Well, I'm gonna toss it over there and let Kurt shoot some questions at you, because I know he's full of questions. He always is.
Thank
Full
you
of
so
something.
much, Murphy. You're a doll.
Chantel, I've got some comments before I get to a question. Thank you so much for this care package. It was when I received it, it was like confusing. We received so many cigars. I'm like, are we supposed to split these up and send them to each other? But your generosity, you touched my heart, and thank you from the bottom of my heart, all of us.
Yes,
really,
definitely.
It is very special. I think we've been doing the podcast for a year and a half now, and I think we received more cigars from you than we have total the year and a half. So
no way. Aw, really? That's so
it was amazingly awesome. It was.
It's close, but yes. So thank you so much.
Yes.
I received one on Saturday, and this is my fourth one. So I'm smoking through them. The first one that I smoked was the dealer's choice, the nub, the 4.5 by 60. And I'm more of a medium plus guy. These guys are all hardcore full body smokers. I'm kind of the lighter smoker of the group.
Yes.
But that cigar, I was smoking it on Discord with Gaz. We were on Saturday night, and I was just really blown away. I said, this is a really, really, really nice Connecticut. It was just creamy and smooth. I mean, it's a special cigar. And I smoked the Ace last night. Enjoyed that, and of course I got the King. And what else did I smoke?
And you're a light smoker, so it's interesting. Yeah, that you're smoking the King. This being a lighter smoker, right?
Yeah,
so
but to me, this one, because I looked on the website and it said it was a full, and it's still within my range, and I'm enjoying it. So as I go through it,
what did you think about the wild card? Was that too strong for you?
It was a little bit on the. I wouldn't say it was too strong, but it was on the upper end of my limit. I think. Yeah. Was it
that was
last
a good
night
cigar.
Yeah, and see these guys. So we do an occasional review sometimes of a different cigar. We just did one last week, and it was on the upper end of my limits, and it was right in these guys' wheelhouse. So I mean, we're pretty good about picking them out, but it's I've enjoyed all of them so far, and again I can't thank you enough, and so much so. You're down there in St. Pete. My wife and I moved up here to the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're in North Georgia in the Blue Ridge area. We moved from Tampa 3.5 years ago. So I was down there almost 25 years I spent down there. So we're bought our retirement home up here. We're still working, of course, but it's we're up in the mountains now, so it's nice.
That is you know what? Oh my God, congratulations, because I'm sure it's just so beautiful there.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But my point is, once I get through these cigars, I got something special coming your way. I do a little bit of art, and there'll be a special care package coming your way. So just it may take me a little bit to get through the rest of them and get it done, but you just, I know you touched all of us, but it's just,
Yeah.
you really touched us by doing
Don't make
that.
me
So,
cry, for God's sake. You're going to make me have to be a little wussy over here. I'm supposed to be
That-
one of the guys, not this
No.
whiny bitch.
The tears will come when the package arrives.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
poor Matthew,
He's-
he's checking the.
Juicing me down to a smush, okay?
Oh boy, here we go.
Matthew's been
I've
checking his
said-
tracking every day.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I've said
I just look at it this way, honestly. First and foremost, it is a privilege to have the opportunity. That's first and foremost, that you would even think of me, right? Secondly, how can you assess what you even think about my brand, or not my brand, my product, because you already know the brand, right? And I appreciate the accolades. But I wanted each and every one of you to just be able to go through them and enjoy them and try them. I mean, you're taking your time to have me here. Yes, am I taking mine? But you gave me the invite, and I appreciate the opportunity. And it's like I wanted you guys to have a present. You know, like when you open it, you have, like, it's like a present as a thank you from me to you. So you're so very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
it was absolutely amazing.
It was. That was over the
my-
top, man.
So you
You're
kind of touched on this a little bit. So the blends that you've had, so they kind of changed a little bit, but it's because it sounded like when you came out with the first ones, you were really involved with those. I'm just curious how you said they kind of matched, what you had, so you didn't really have to become that involved. Is that what I understand, or as
Well,
far as them?
Yeah, so how I did not have to become as involved in this round in some regard is because I sent them what I had, and all these
Mhm.
factories. But I had some not even smoke them and think that they could somehow duplicate. I don't even know how, right? And they were garbage.
Right.
And obviously, I will never say any names. But these guys took their time. They take it seriously, just like they take, just their blending in general, their hand rolling. I mean, these things are exceptional. Their quality is exceptional. And so they dove deep, like really deep. It wasn't one of them smoking them. It was like three of them. I'm sure it was their master blender and both co-owners, right? And maybe even someone else. I sent a bunch of samples. And again, they broke this down completely. How can you get 6 out of, like, say 8 or 9, like I said, they said there were. You can't. It's almost impossible. Unless you really take it seriously. So yes, to answer your question, this part of it, not as much, because I already created the, kind of the strengths and the profile I was looking for with the other ones. With the Jack I used to be a sweet tip. Because I really thought there was a market for it. Everyone kept saying about flavored cigars. Well, I didn't want a flavored cigar, but I thought maybe I needed something a little sweet. Well, the consensus was everyone loved the Jack, but not the sweet tip, right? There were some, don't get me wrong, I actually enjoyed it, but the majority just loved the composition of the stick without the sweet tip. So that was one that, we just took the sweet tip out of. But that was a lesson.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I had actually thought. I mean, I was gonna smoke the Jack, and I tasted a little bit, and I said, I'm not sure if this was sweet because what I had read. Again, I was going through the archives, and someone had said it was a sweet tip. So
I know.
So-
So in that, you guys, that imagine. So that was such a hard decision for me to make, to do this, right? To make this change, because I already had built this, the accolades and the reputation and brand. But to me,
right.
when you have hand rolled cigars, especially boutique, but they're small batches, you might have a one-off, right? I was getting more than one-offs. That's not what I want to be known for. And I knew, and I don't want someone spending their hard-earned money to, like, get something that's gonna, crap out on them or whatever it is. So that was one of the factors also that I just, and I wanted to expand. So I knew that I needed to I needed to go with another factory. And again, I expanded with 3 more. So, and more to come.
Right.
I'm excited.
All right. Yeah, that was. So I guess my next question is, being an owner of a small cigar company, a boutique brand, if you will, where do you feel the cigar industry is right now as far as the boutique blends? I mean, brands, there's a lot of them out there. I definitely feel your marketing has kind of put you ahead of a lot of them. But just kind of an industry, as a whole, where do you think you think we're in a boutique boom right now? Because we've talked about that before, or where do you think the industry is right now?
So I think we're 100% in a boutique boom, like not even a question. And it's not for your casual smoker; it's for your seasoned smoker. They're looking for that elusive stick that they haven't tried, that they want to find. Right? It's like a treasure almost, right? Or that line or whatever, or the brand. I think we're in a huge boutique boom. We are, really making a lot of strides. I am a member of the Boutique Cigar Association. We bring a lot to the table, even at the PCA, which I'm sure you guys know, the Premium Cigar Association trade show that's coming up in NOLA. We bring a lot of value. There's a lot of us. We're coming in numbers. And with us, the brand owner is going to show up. Okay, not somebody in their company because they're too busy and can't be bothered, right? Because they're too big, that they're not going to be there. Guess what? Even if I got to the level of someone like, I don't want to say any names, if I got to the level of huge premium, I'm still going to show up because you know what? I'm invited. I should be there. I'm going to shake hands, kiss babies, all those things, as you should, right? To me, I'll never lose sight of that. So, yeah, we are in a huge boutique era. I think we're a force to be reckoned with, no question.
Yeah, because that's one thing that with the podcast, that was kind of one of our mission statements, if you will. We really wanted to focus on highlighting boutique brands, and it's been fun, and there's so many. We haven't even scratched the surface, but I'm really glad that you were here.
Thank you so much.
My last question is, you're welcome. My last question is, what do you enjoy smoking outside your brand? Do you sample other stuff just to see what's going on out there, or do you have a favorite?
I do sometimes, you guys. So primarily, if I'm in someone else's shop or whatnot, obviously I'm not going to promote myself or someone else's event. I'm going to, have one of theirs. So I don't have a specific, because I'm so open to, to just different ones, whatever it is. So I was just at, I'm sure you guys have heard of Bamp Cigars. So Bamp Cigars just had their great guy, him and his wife. They just had their grand opening at the Polo Club in West Palm Beach for their lounge. And you should see his creations. Check that out. Go look on my Instagram, and you'll see some of this master craft, like rolling that look like Superman. And then you got another one. It was just amazing. So, but there's a new boutique cigar company out by Don and Robert Caruso called Angry Beaver Cigar. So I tried theirs. I tried one of the sticks, and I can't tell you right now which one. And it was a great stick. So it just depends. I don't have a go-to. Depends where I'm at, what the vibe is, what the mood, maybe something suggested, and I'll just go with it. But I don't smoke mine, again, in other establishments that already are established and, all that other stuff. It's just bad business to my eyes, right? Poor taste.
Right. So are
now,
you?
I want to run around. I want to run around and tell everybody, take Bella Dama, here, free. I'll give it you free.
So are you, most of your channels online, or are you in some cigar shops? I'm sure it's difficult. I mean, that's a dedication, travel. I don't know if you have reps or what's the situation there.
So thank you. That's a great question. So, starting out, I wanted to build a brand, right? You got to crawl before you can walk. No one's gonna take Bella Dama Cigars in their shop or their lounge, and if they do, it's going to be slim to none amount of people. So
Right.
that's why part of my decision to do this switch was as well to do the relaunch with the new factory, was so that I could get to a point, price point wise, as well as the perfection of quality, and the flavor profiles to where exactly where I wanted them, where then I was equipped to go into retail. So now I'm just getting into brick and mortar. I'm hiring nationwide sales reps as we speak. I need someone in Florida. I don't have the time because I do it all. Oh my God, there's no time for me. But right now we are sick and have a significant presence in Texas. Throughout
Okay.
Texas, I have the baddest ass sales rep in Texas, Michael Rosenfeld. He is killing it. He works his ass off,
Okay.
and he's changing the game for me right now. So we're getting there.
Right. I think you're going about it definitely. I mean, just from my point of view, from what I have seen, the information I gathered, I mean, it feels like you're setting up for the long term. You got your factory set now, and like I say, like you said, it is so difficult to walk into a cigar lounge if they've never heard from you, and be able to, get some shelf space. Because I know I'm in the Blue Ridge area. I've got a beautiful cigar lounge, Smoky Bear Cigars and Cafe, but 70% of his business is tourists coming up from Atlanta or Florida for the weekend, and they want to grab what they know so they can smoke it around the campfire. So he has a hard time bringing those in, and I understand that. But it's just, I think you're spot on when I hear you say, get the brand out there, and definitely your brand is definitely noticeable. It's pretty cool. So
thank you so much. It's very interesting when you all complimented me, and I thank you so much for complimenting the logo and all that. I never really thought of it being feminine. I just thought the colors were old school Vegas. It was sexy. It was sophisticated. And that's what you do. You smoke a stick through your lips, right? So that was my mentality behind it. But when I was in Buffalo a year ago for their festival, I think at that time I was almost thinking, I hope no one ever thinks that, every now and again I think, hope no one, men don't think this is feminine. And if I did not have 25 people, men, tell me that day how much they loved the logo, and I'll tell you why. Not because of the things I just said. Something that you said from the jump is that they said there's so many different, like, whatever, crest or whatever it is. I know if I smoke your stick, or anyone does, all they have to do is look for the lips. They don't even have to remember that it's Bella Dama, right? They know what to look for. So that is important, I think, for anyone who's even looking to start their own brand or whatnot, is to find something that's unique. You guys know Cigar Clowns. It's a clown on it, right?
Yep.
This Angry Beaver I was just discussing, they have a beaver on it with a stick. You're going to remember it.
Yep.
So
or Aganorsa with the bicep from Aganorsa.
There you go.
Walks in and
the same as Ish, of course, with Badass Motherfucker and seeing the soldier that sticks out, and
correct.
that's the thing with a lot of different cigar bands. And I'm sorry to interrupt, Kate. I just want to say, of course, to Chantel, Matthew does say sorry he's had to leave, but of course he's got to go and pick his daughter up from school. So he has sent his apologies, and he says thank you again for being a guest tonight.
Of course.
We've had also, of course, a message from one of our brothers, which is Gary, and he's down in Louisiana, and he says, could you send the rep over to Northwest Louisiana? And this is on, of course, the Texas border, and asking if your cigars are going to get down there. Yeah, that's where Gary is. Yes.
My guy, listen, if there's business there, he'll go, because once he caught, no, for real. Like, this guy, he'll drive 3 hours for accounts. like, not even a joke. He had a friend of his. I can't remember where he was at that time, and I apologize. I think he was in El Paso. I can't remember. And he had a friend of his that lived there. He stayed there for like, I don't know, 4 days, 5 days, and killed the whole area. And he wants to actually get into other areas that are right there. So, who is it? Gary, you said Gary Purdue or something, correct? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Gary
Yeah,
Purdue. Yeah.
Gary, if you could please do me the privilege of reaching out to me and just make contact via Instagram or Facebook, whatever. Instagram's better. I answer that more than I do my business Facebook. I will certainly pass along the information to my sales rep, Michael, and definitely see if we can get him in there. And anybody who's looking for a sales rep job, if you're experienced, reach out, please. Only take the best, though.
All right.
Hey,
just
that sounds like something an old retired guy can do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Just
And
kidding. I ain't
this-
looking for a job. Just kidding.
No, right. No, but you know what? This sales rep that's killing it is retired, and he's been smoking sticks for like 30 years, and
Yes,
he
he
wanted to do something with his passion, and so he decided he didn't want to just sit around anymore, So it really helped ignite him.
Grumpy's got the passion, and of course, with where Grumpy is down in the old Panhandle, you've got a lot of different places down there, Grump.
Yeah, I'm
That's the thing.
directly between Dothan, Alabama, and Panama City Beach.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what? I want to get up there. I really do. Like, I heard it's gorgeous up there.
It
The
is.
beaches and stuff. Yes.
Yep.
So
So
I
Gary-
actually have a rep in the Panhandle right now. He goes there
Cool.
in Montgomery to Montgomery. Does that make sense? Montgomery.
Yeah,
Alabama?
Montgomery. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Gary says,
Very good.
I wish I was retired, but I just got Silent Hero into the stores here, and yeah, Silent Hero, of course, their band with the old World War II soldiers stands out, and this is the thing: a lot of bands do stand out. And I've had the privilege to smoke Issues cigars, and I've smoked the Punisher, I smoked the Superman, I've smoked a lot of the superheroes. I also smoked the Canines with the dogs
Yes.
on, and
Yes.
he's got some excellent cigars. But to me, a lot of companies that are out there, you see the passion when they bring the cigar out. It's okay having the passion, but having that drive. And this is the thing, what I'm going to say now. With you see the drive. And of course, with being friends on Facebook, I've also seen, of course, I think it's your daughter at some of the events as well, sitting at the stand with the cigars, and you can see the passion in your daughter's face. She wants to help her mum, of course, drive Bella Dama and get Bella Dama out. And that's great working with family and seeing that drive. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. You've got to have it when you bring a cigar out. It's okay putting however much money into it and having a cigar, but you've got to be there pushing it. And like you said, you've got to be there. You've got to be at PCA. You've got to be at any of the boutique shows or Smoke at the Water or wherever. You've got to be there pushing your brand, because if you're not, your brand's going to just disappear because another brand's going to take it over. And because, Kate, I love you, my brother, but I hate you tonight because you've been stealing my questions. So you and me are going to have a little bit of beef after this. You pissed
I just have one more, and I don't know if it's really a question, maybe a topic of conversation. You were talking about your logo and how you didn't mean it to be feminine, and I mean you're a sister of the leaf, and it's funny sometimes when we talk to the different sisters of the leaf or have them on the podcast. Some of them are like you, and I mean, to me, you're a cigar smoker. You're like one of us. But sometimes we ask a question, how's it feel to be a sister of the leaf? And sometimes we haven't really gotten that good of a reception from some people, from some women, like they were almost offended. And it's just, I just really like your attitude and the way your mindset with it, I guess. And, the logo, I mean, it stands out to me, and how you don't think it's feminine. And it was just interesting to me when you said that, because there was one guest that we had that I asked that question about being a sister of the leaf, and I don't think it went over too well, and I felt kind of bad about it afterwards. But
Oh,
So
thank you so much. You know what, you guys, I am seriously one of the guys in a lot of ways. I do have my feminine energy when I'm not bossing in my business, right? And I can
Right.
also bring that. I can also bring that to my business. I'm not afraid of that. But at the end of the day, I could make probably all of you blush. So I'll just leave it like that.
all right.
You know, the thing is, though, it's like tonight, the main reason, of course, we wanted to sit down with you as well, is to celebrate another woman who makes cigars in this market, because you don't see a lot of the women companies that are out there being showcased. You've seen the premium brands, you've seen the legacy, of course, you've seen the other boutique brands, you're not seeing the female owned brands. And of course, we already know this month it was a celebration of females. And this was the thing I said to the guys, I'm like, look, and this was me and Matthew talking. I said to Matthew, I'm like, I've been following Bella Dama for ages. Send a message for me. See if she'll come on the show. And he's like, okay. And as soon as he messaged back and he goes, brother, she said, yeah. I'm like, happy days. Because this is now we're going to be able to showcase Chantel and show people
Thank you
what a
so
cigars are
much.
about, what a brand's about, and also get to talk to. Because, like I say, you've only got to look at Instagram. And people, if you follow Instagram, go and follow Bella Dama on there. You'll see the amount of different people that are smoking the cigars. They're enjoying the cigars. And this is the thing. And this is why I said, just on the band, it sticks. The cigars stick out. The guys are enjoying them like Grumpy, like Kate, and different people that are out there. When I do get over to the States, I will be getting some and trying them and smoking them,
Yes.
because I've got to. That's my thing. And like I say, thank you for coming on tonight. And I will say one thing over what Kate's going to be sending you. You will be wowed with what Kate's going to be sending. Because Kate sent me a couple of pictures this week of some of the trial ones that he made. And, geez, they stick out. And Kate also made me, of course, my cigar pick, which is a deer antler. And Kate made
That
me that.
is the
And,
coolest thing ever. Oh
yeah,
my God. Wait,
he's-
look at
he's-
that, Grumpy. Look at that ash. Wait a second. Look at his ash. I'm just catching that right now. Oh, look
Yeah,
at
Grumpy's
how
got a
cool
long
that
test
is.
contest going on there.
That's what I'm saying, Sam. Look at you, Mac Daddy.
and
And by the way, that second third
Yeah.
is rather unusual. It was kind of like there's a little sweet hay in there. It lightens up, and it darn near feels kind of like it has a little citrusy kind of thing going on. It's very unique. It's very different than the first third.
That's why I said I couldn't wait for you to get into the second, because I knew you were gonna find all this other layers to it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah.
It's crazy.
You guys know some of them
What-
you can light up and you get like something straight out of the gate. And I think that's with my, trying to remember, you guys, my all in. I think is
Oh.
the one I found that out of the gate. Oh, you lost it finally.
Fell off. Oops.
You know, there was just sometimes you'll get something straight out of the gate, and on the
Yeah.
first like couple draws, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. But this is where with cigars, just give it a minute and see. You know what I mean? That's why it's in thirds. You have to see. Let's
Yeah.
see how this kind of works its way through. And
Yep.
yeah, so I'm glad you're enjoying it and that you've caught those notes in there. There you go.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
nice. It's very pleasurable.
Oh, yay.
Well,
And that's the
Well,
queen,
Chantel,
if anybody needs to know.
That's queen.
next week we're doing it's just us loons next week on the podcast. We're doing a barber pole episode, and I'm saving my queen to showcase
Oh,
that one
yay!
for that episode.
Yep. We're going to be doing a
I'll,
barber pole.
I know Gaz.
And
I know Gaz has probably got a couple more questions up there, even though I stole most of them. So I'll pass it on up to him.
Yeah.
I just want to course over a couple of the people that are talking over on Instagram. So of course we've got Cigar Wit. He says, "Hi Chantal, my sister," and sent some kiss emojis to it.
Hi, doll.
Of course, the Leaf Cutters. Thanks guys for popping in. So the Leaf Cutters popped in. Of course, C.C. Woolley, he's put the Old Jack sweet tip as one of the rare sweet tips that I would smoke. The Jack now is great for a 35 to 40 minute smoke, and I prefer a non-sweet tip. And then he's put, of course, can't beat the 40% off on the players pack. Do it and try Bella Dama. And a lot of people are watching there over on Instagram. And my kind of questions now, Chantel, like, if there was a different factory, a different blender, because I know with Tobacco Claire Aragon, they make some fantastic cigars. I know Andreas, who worked there, who's now owns, of course, Every Day is a Cigar. He used to work there, and I know his work that he was doing. So if you could blend a cigar with anybody, and it's either Ernesto from EP or Ricky Rodriguez from West Tampa, or whoever, who would be the blender that you would sit down and blend a cigar with?
A collaboration.
You know
Yeah. Who would you collaborate?
I got to be really honest with you. I'm not going anywhere away from Tobacco Aragon. So not anybody could put in that opportunity on the table for me. These guys have been stellar. They've worked their ass off to provide me with the best product, premium product out there. I would feel like it would be, and I don't care if it was just one stick, I feel like it would be an insult, and I just wouldn't do it.
Yep.
Now, there's an answer we had never had.
Yeah, that's a great answer, because
There you go.
this is
Here
the
we
thing.
go.
You can tell straight away that with that relationship with you and Tobacco Claire Aragon, is you've got that great working relationship. There's basically, you would not go with someone else, and
I
this
don't
is
think
what
I
happens
don't
with a
think
lot of
someone
people.
else is better. I don't think anyone else is better. So I know I've got a winner here. I've got a winning hand with these guys. Why would I even stray? I don't need to. Right?
I like what you did there. You got a winning hand with them. I like what you did there.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah, I caught that.
Well,
You'll hear all these metaphors with me when it comes to like gaming and poker and everything. Yep, I'm all in. Got a winning hand.
Yep.
this is the thing that you find with some people, is when they do make a cigar and they've got a great factory behind them, they stray away, and then they go and use a different one, and that cigar sometimes isn't a great winner. And of course, we're not going to mention names. We've smoked them, we know the companies, and it's a shame what we see. To have that factory and have that great working relationship, you carry on with them. And that's a great answer there, Chantal, that you've given us. And thank you for that, because you can tell straight away you are, like us, regular cigar smoker, passionate about your company, and you give honest answers. And this is what we want when we're sitting down with people, is these honest answers. Now, this is always a crazy one, but I always ask it. So 5 people, alive or dead, that you would sit down and smoke a cigar with. Yeah, this is my crazy random question.
They don't have to be. They don't have to be cigar smokers. They can be from music, film, history, family, whatever you want.
God, is this tough? Okay, my father, first and foremost.
There you go.
Of course. Yep.
Joe Rogan.
There you go. Another good one.
Hold on, let me think about this. Oh, Winston Churchill. Come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God. I just did a whole thing on him recently. He's spectacular. Oh my God. Oh God. He smokes 20 cigarettes a day. Cigars a day. What's his name?
George Burns.
Burns.
No, but no. But guess what? Number 3, George Burns. I love that man. Hundy. Love that man. No, George Burns used to be like my favorite actor. So what do we got? We got 4. So my 5th one, I can't. You guys, it escapes me. What's the guy? I brain dead. I'm so tired. It's the guy that says, "If I can't smoke in heaven, then I shall not go." What is his name? Help me.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't have the name.
Right?
I've heard that. I've heard him say that, but I can't.
I just posted a story on it. I can't, you guys. That would be my other one. Those are all off the cuff, of course, right? But
Oh, yeah.
thank you for that, George Burns. I love that dude.
It's
Mark Twain. Somebody said.
Mark Twain.
Mark,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you, Mark
Lou's
Cross.
put that on. of
Thank
course.
you,
Yeah.
Lou.
Lou's
Oh my
put that on.
God, you saved
Good job,
me,
Lou.
sir.
Good job.
You saved me.
And
Yeah,
then he
so
put, of
those would be
course,
the-
Samuel Clements as well. And
Yeah.
this is the thing. It's a great question to ask because me and Grumpy and Kate and Matthew, when we've sat in Discord and sat with other people, we've asked them. And they'll come out with our JHO, they'll come out with Michael Jordan, they'll come out, of course, with different ones. Some have come out with Donald Trump, some have come out, of course, with Joe Rogan, then they've come out, of course, with Ernesto from EP, Ricky from, of course, West Tampa, and different ones. Me, I've always said, of course, my one would be Ozzy Osbourne, because I'm a big Ozzy fan, as you can tell with the t-shirt. Yep.
Ozzy,
And-
yes, right. Oh no, sitting with him. What a fabulous trip that would be. Yes.
Welcome
Chantel,
back, brother.
There's a great story about Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne grew up in the West Midlands, and I'm from the West Midlands in England. So I'm from Stoke-on-Trent. He's from Birmingham, which is 30 minutes away. But Ozzy had a house in Staffordshire, not far from where I live. And to see where he came from, the industrial side of Birmingham, like what we had in Stoke-on-Trent, to then where he was with Black Sabbath, to see him come out to Black Sabbath, do solo work. I followed him for years and absolutely love his music. I said about James Hetfield as well, big Metallica fan. I've seen Metallica a dozen times, and Matthew's seen him. And there's so many that you could sit down with. People brought Prince up as well. There's always them ones, and they always stick out. It's like, I spoke to my wife, and I said to my wife, I said, who would you? And she came out with some. And then we were talking about, of course, female cigar smokers. So I brought out, of course, Sharon Stone. I sit down with Sharon Stone. I just hope she didn't do the Basic Instincts thing because I'd be gobsmacked. But yeah,
As soon as you said it, that's exactly where my brain went.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah, it's always a good question, but of course, my next question is, where do you see Bella Dama with 2025 now, and what great things are coming out for Bella Dama this year?
Well, so thank you for asking. We are going to permeate the brick and mortar and arena, right? So really want to see Bella Dama Cigars in a lot more places. If all goes well, we will be coming out with this is the first time I even bring this up. We will be coming out with a 5-year anniversary stick. So that's in the works. I'm waiting for samples to come my way. I've given them like instructions of what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking. So we're going to come out with that. Hopefully we will. And that will be done in August, prayerfully, if everything goes well. If not, it will be shortly thereafter, and it'll be an anniversary stick. I just want to see Bella Dama in the retail environment more. You know, I've always just done, online e-commerce and in-person private and public events. So I'd really like to see that. And then hopefully, we will be on our feet enough after the first of the year and have enough accounts to be at the PCA convention and some of the other big ones, and be in a better financial stature to partake in a lot of these bigger things that right now I'm very focused on taking the monies and putting them as a one-woman show and putting them into product and, again, other things like that, of that nature. So
Yeah, that's
again, I went from crawling to walking. Now I want to go from walking to running.
yeah,
So-
running, or taking off on a rocket ship. And I definitely think with where you're going, you are taking off on a rocket ship. And
Thank you.
I will reveal, I've been following you for 5 years. I've been following your cigars for 5 years.
Thank you
And
so
to
much.
see where you started, to see where you are now, you are taking off on that rocket ship. and this is the thing. And everyone, go and visit www.belladamacigars.com. Go and visit the website. Of course, I hate saying the legal working stuff, but please be over the age of 21 in the United States to purchase tobacco. If you drink, please be over the same age of 21. In England, please be over the age of 18 in the UK to smoke, and also to drink in the UK, please be over 18. So that's the legal stuff done. But 5-year anniversary cigar, geez, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see that cigar come out and see people enjoying it, and then of course to see it at PCA. PCA, I think it'll be great to see you at PCA and get everybody buying more Bella Dama, getting you out more over the United States, and hopefully then an importer from the UK is out there, and an importer from the UK can pick you up and bring you to the UK and batter you in the UK and get you going. Because this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a hell of a lot more now in the UK. Boutique cigar companies coming, and the importers are really waking up to the boutique market, or the craft market, however you want to put a stance on it. And it's great to see this. And a lot of companies, of course, have come. They've gone, and it's a shame. But when you've got the passion, you got that drive, you got a great importer behind you, or great sales reps, you're going to just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And this is the thing. Now, of course, we normally on the podcast, we do kind of like a jacked up lyric. Now, tonight I've stayed away from the jacked up lyric because it can get a little bit interesting. But if there was a song that you could choose, what would be your song of choice for a jacked up lyric? What would be your song that you would choose?
I am the worst at this. Like, I don't know titles. I don't know artists. I have to get a hold of my daughter. Like, what is this? I'll say one phrase, like, or I'll come out with a melody like da 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 da. And you know, she's like, Mom, what am I doing with that? Oh, okay. Here's one. My father. Here you go. My father, when before he passed away, his favorite song was, this sounds so crazy, was Can't Touch This by MC Hammer.
Okay. There you go.
Awesome.
Back in Can't Touch This. You don't want me to sing, not even Happy Birthday. But that was his like little theme song. So there you go, Can't Touch This. There you go.
Yeah. It's a great song. Grumpy led me into a really dark situation last week and gave me a song title by Rolling Stones, Brown Sugar. And I hadn't even read the lyrics. And I read it and I was like, oh no, I am not singing them lyrics. So we went with White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane Band last week. And Kurt started it. And Kurt serenaded me with songs about when I looked after horses as a child. And I think Kurt just wants to cuddle off the ginger grizzly bear. Kurt, you know you want to cuddle, my brother.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Then y'all got off home.
I can't sing. It's not happening. If I have one challenge,
Either can guess, but he still does it.
Yeah.
At some point, the family rating always goes down the tubes here. So
Yeah, we always lose that family rating somewhere within the hour and a half or so.
Usually
Sometimes it's a lot sooner. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
And it's always,
I've kept it very
always
PG.
down to the English. But of course, how was your trip away? I know, of course, we've seen the pictures that you were on holiday. So how was your trip away? Did you have a nice time on holiday?
Myself? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you guys
yourself.
were trying to. Yes. Yeah, I did actually. It was very quick. Because that's all the time I have. I'm not the type of person that gets a week. Which I'm not complaining. But I left on a Thursday, came back on a Sunday. So at least, you know what I mean? Things were handled the way they should be handled before I took off, and it wouldn't be any kind of a huge. I'm the type of person that wants to ship the same day if possible, and if not, it will certainly be the next day. So I'm just a stickler about that, and right now it's not in my trajectory, my life to be away for too long. So the time I did have, I thank you so much for asking. I loved it. I was in St. Bart's, probably the most beautiful Caribbean island that I've been to thus far. Just beautiful. It was it was nice. I mean, it was, when you go away, yeah, do you want to rest? But I don't want to miss anything, right? So
Right.
sometimes you need a vacation from a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Beautiful time.
I got to say one thing. I saw a video and it popped up on TikTok, and it was, of course, of St. Bart's, and it was the airplane coming down and
Yes.
seeing it coming where the traffic was. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'd
goes
be
right
grabbing
over
for
the
the
beach.
rails and yeah,
I'm
that
gonna,
to
you know
me
what?
is
When we're done this, I'm gonna send you the video that I have right from that beach where they come in. Some of these planes are real. They're not, more necessarily. I don't want to say modernized, but mine was, thank God, very much so. I was very blessed. But some of them are real puddle jumpers, and you just see them, and they're like this. Even our pilot was like, it was a little wonky coming in there through the mountains because it's so
Yeah.
mountainous. And I was like, okay, I was really feeling confident until now. So we're like close,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't think you did agree with me, but I've just got a click in from, of course, Gary. So Gary says, I'm trying to register on the website, but it's only giving me a login page. So that's Gary, and he's going on, of course, to Bella Dama website.
Only he's trying to register for email.
I don't know if he's trying to register
I
for
think
email
so.
or
I
if he's
just
trying
saw
to
some email address come
Yep.
through. So as I'm talking, someone just came through and it showed someone subscribed.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
quite
probably
sure.
Gary wanting a job is what Gary wanting. He's wanting a job application. That's what he's wanting.
Reach out to me on IG, not via the website, because you could do that too. Wouldn't matter. I've had people reach out and ask.
Yeah, he's figured it out, and he says, "I'm putting something in the cart." So, Gary,
okay.
I think definitely for him, with Kurt sitting here and Grumpy, you're definitely on for a winner. Of course, buying some Bella Dama and trying them, and
Thank you so much.
of course we have really enjoyed this having you on tonight, Chantel.
Thank
Sitting
you
down
so
with
much.
you, of course, and the guys enjoying the cigars, and especially from me, it's a great big thank you for coming on tonight, and especially for the generosity what you're showing the Cigar Loons. And
Thank you.
by all means, if there's anything we can do from our part and get you more known out by putting you on our website, or even the guys posting, of course, on Instagram, we'll do anything that we can for you and get your cigars promoted more and people seeing them. And of course, people can get them and grab them and smoke them. And for anyone that's watching, if you have enjoyed Bella Dama, then please get in touch and let us know what you think of the cigars. Of course, to everyone that's been watching on Instagram, thank you, and also on Rumble, and also here tonight on YouTube. It's been an absolute pleasure. And of course, next week we're going to be doing barber poles. Oh, excuse me. And I had a little bit of a telling off last night because when I said holes, it sounded like holes. No, we're going to be doing barber poles and rabbit holes. So we're going to be going down the rabbit hole front next week.
All right.
So we'll probably have the tinfoil hats on again next week.
That sounds so fun.
Grump. Oh yeah, it's always fun. But Grumpy, lasting thoughts on your cigar, my brother, before we finish, and then of course we'll go down to Kate. Lasting thoughts of the cigars.
Well, I'm down here to the bare basics. It's still very flavorful. You would think getting down here with the San Andreas and all that it would be really amped up, but it's not. It's still very mild. It's still very, very enjoyable. And I'm telling you, the Queen and the Wild Card are the only two I've had so far, but they're both winners.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Kurt, yourself?
As far as me with the King, I was expecting it to be a little stronger. I'm really. I mean, it's to me it's a medium plus, like probably a 7 out of a 10, which is right in my wheelhouse. I was when I saw full, I'm like, well, okay, we'll see how it goes. But it's been excellent, and all of them that I've smoked so far, and I can't wait to get into the rest of them, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
for,
of course, please keep an eye out because no doubt Kurt will be doing a cigar review on Bella Dama. And of course, we'll also have a blog coming out on the Cigar Loons website where you'll be able to read the blog on what Kurt's, of course, tasting in one of the cigars. So keep your eyes open. It will be coming. And by all means, if you want to, of course, re-listen to the podcast, you can find it on YouTube. You'll be able to find it on Instagram and also on rumble.com, as well as Spotify and also on our Facebook group, which is, of course, Cigar Loons. And we are the invaders of the cigar market, as we would always say, or the cigar world. You can believe what you want to believe, but I'm happy with what we do. And, of course, another fantastic guest in Matthew. Hats off to you, my brother, for putting this together with Chantel, so thank you. And, Matthew, any lasting thoughts before we finish the show off, my brother?
Well, again, it's been a great conversation. Sorry I had to bounce out for a little bit. I had to go pick up my daughter from her, I don't know, flag corps thing, whatever that was.
love it, though. That is so sweet. Good.
So then I could come back and at least get on here before you were finished. So it's been great. I love all your answers to the questions. It's been awesome. And I look forward to trying your cigars. And I will probably put at least one of them on the blog with a pairing as well.
Yay. That's outstanding. You guys, hey, listen. You guys owe me a hearse. That's all I have to say. Off camera hearse.
Done.
We can do that
right.
anytime. We can.
All right.
And of course, from me, stay smoky, everyone. Kurt?
Yes.
Chantel, I don't know if you noticed what he did, but I've been slacking a little bit on my reviews, and so now I'm gonna review one. But he put me right on the spot there, so I will get one of them done. I've been slacking a little bit. Again, from the bottom of my heart, Chantel, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed just getting to know you, talking with you. It's been a real blessing for us, our little podcast. So thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week. Until next time, smoke them if you got them.
Yes. Good night, everyone. Thank you again.
Just like these guys had their little saying, I have mine. Don't start none, won't be none. We'll see you next week. Grumpy, take it out.
Come on, Grumpy.
I just want to say, do what? Wisdom.
Words of wisdom. Yep, words of wisdom from Grumpy.
Come on, Grumpy. I can't wait.
Well, no, really, though, it has been a pleasure. And I do appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. The package, that was just amazingly over the top. It's like Kurt said, when that showed up in the mailbox, I'm thinking, well, I think I need to get some envelopes ready because I need to split these out. And then it was like, no, and it started showing up, and it's like, geez, that was over the top. And from my heart, it was appreciated. But for the rest of you guys, Jesus loves you, and so do I. But if he's not driving the bus, pull over, get out of the seat, and let him take the wheel. He drives better than we do. And until you see me again, love you.
Oh, love you, Grumpy. Oh, you guys,
and of course,
you.
we will catch you next week. And Chantel, yet again from us, thank you for being here tonight and being on the Cigar Loons podcast. People, as you can see down the bottom of the screen, www.belladamacigars.com. Go and visit the website. Trust me, you're on for a winner. The guys have enjoyed them. and everyone is on Instagram. So go and get yourself a Bella Dama cigar. And like we say, again, please be over the age of 21 in the United States. And if you're drinking in the United States, please be over the age of 21 as well. England, if you're smoking cigars in the UK, like myself, please be over the age of 18. Drinking in the UK, please be over the age of 18. And that's legal advice from us. We'll catch you next week. And we're going to play, of course, our #1 award-winning song, as I would always say. Because I absolutely love the song, because I made it. I put it together. But enjoy, and we'll catch you next week.
From the depths of the internet, a podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up a stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar